All right, so this is vlog 21. I'm gonna pretend that I'm in good spirits. I'm kind of in okay spirits because you know why? I had a bad week and I thought it was gonna be like, oh no, I'm on a downward like trajectory and I'm just gonna like descend into like the rungs of hell. It's gonna be like this Dante Inferno esque just spiral, and it wasn't. Thankfully, it only lasted a couple of days, and I think a lot of it had to do with I didn't have my medication. If you have MECFS and if you have a care or don't have a care, make sure you always have your medication. So once I took my medication, I felt like better, like almost instantaneously. Um, and I don't know if that's a placebo effect or I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I felt better. And the medication I take is low dose naltrexone, and that seems to prevent me from having like really bad crashes. Whereas I felt like I was in like the midst of kind of a crash. The first year I really didn't. First year I had a lot of crashes, even though not a lot. I'd say I had about 6 crashes my first year, which is not a lot because I was pacing like rigorously. And but the year after that, I didn't have any crashes. I would have like again fatigue, but like it wasn't like my crashes were like everyone else's crashes, where it's like I can't move, I could barely talk, like kind of like I could barely think, and that's what this kind of felt like a little bit. But like once I took my medicine, I was okay. And so, anyways, um, oh yeah, I'm waiting for my mattress. That's why my box springs against the wall. I'm waiting so I can lay my mattress down and let it whatever rise like unleavened bread or something. Anyways, let's jump into it. This is about my semi-retirement and advice for those new to MECFS. My semi-retirement is from my blog. Um, yeah, I'm done with that because it takes too much time. Basically, that's the long and skinny of it. It just takes too much time and research, and it's not good for my health. I don't think I like thinking about those things. That's fine for my health, but like I don't like it's too time consuming, and I'm not able to pace as effectively as I could, and it takes away time from other things maybe that I could be doing as well that are maybe uh I'm and also let me go back because I'm also like really attached to it's part of who I am. The blog is about like a lot about like communist theory and communist strategy, and it's very unorthodox. And I like writing about that kind of stuff. Not because it makes me feel special, I think, because I think it's important to write from that kind of perspective. Okay, and I wouldn't say my identity is tied up with it as much as it is like what I'm passionate about and what I like learning about and knowing about. But it is draining at the same time. It's not like invigorating. Like I don't get like a buzz out of it. Like if anything, I'm very tired at the end of every single blog. So I'm done with that, and I'm just done with people. Certain people, I'm just kind of done with, and but not all people. I'm not saying like sociality and like being sociable and whatever. I'm not gonna be like turn into like a fucking hermit or some shit or like Dostoevsky character, whatever. Um, it's more about just like I'm just what I want to devote my time to in terms of like people in general. Like I remember I had done some vlogs on like dating or like something like that. And it's like, maybe I'll devote some of my time for that at some point. Maybe, but maybe not. Right? Maybe I'll just devote some of my time to like playing chess with friends or something. Right? That seems to be more agreeable to me at this point. That requires less energy, and like if I play a rapid game, they're like 10 minutes. So it's like, hey, it's only 10 minutes. I could play at least two of those right in a row, and I'll be fine. And I don't have to like ever talk to the person or see the person or deal with their emotional issues or deal with whatever they're dealing with. Right? They don't even have to be like sick or whatever. So it's like, um, things that aren't like draining. And that'll lead into like the next thing. And I'm trying to keep these really short, which is like advice for those who are new to MECFS. Like, if you're in your first year of MECFS, or if you're new to it, or I mean, this will really apply really mostly if you're like you got lucky enough to be diagnosed with it in your first year and you have it. Try to do as little as possible. Like really, really rest as much as you can. There's no guarantee. there's no evidence really to suggest that you're going to like recover, make a full remission, right? Those people who make full remission never had MEC, probably never had MECFS to begin with. They had post-viral fatigue syndrome, right? So, and those people had a rest anyways. Like my mother had mono for like 9 months, and then she recovered in the 80s or 90s or something. And so she never had MECF, but she had like the same crippling fatigue and aches and pains and whatever. So, but there is a chance that you can make vast improvements in maybe what the disease will look like in the future, and the trajectory of it. Maybe it won't get as bad if you can stave off some of the worst effects in the beginning. Maybe it's not a given. I'm just saying it maybe improves your chances. So, like, if you can, I know work is central feature of the society. For some reason, still, where everyone's really dependent on wages and wage labor. But since we are, I know it's very difficult to say, oh, well, maybe you should quit your job or go to part time. But maybe part time is a better option. Maybe working from home is a better option, right? These are all like ways to reduce energy usage, be able to pace better, and possibly not crash as often. That is very important that you don't crash as frequently. You don't want to be in what they call a push crash cycle, right? If you can find a doctor who's literate in this, that is also important because they can prescribe you some things to trial. There's not a lot out there. A lot of it's all experimental stuff. Low dose naltrexone has helped me. Using like vagus nerve stimulation seems to like help a little bit. I don't know if like this litany of supplements that I have that you can't see over here is helpful or not, but some of it might do something. I'm not a doctor, but clonazepam for some reason helps me. Benzodiazepines have helped me tremendously. I don't even know the science behind it. I just know that when I take them, a lot of my brain neurological issues go away. That's all I know. But again, this is not like advice. That's not like necessarily like medical advice. I'm just saying I'm telling the things that help me. I'm saying you should try things and also rule things out. Like you should definitely look into things like if you have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which is POTS. You should look into things if you have like MCAS. You should look into if you have gastroparesis or some sort of gastritis or IBS or something. Anything that can help alleviate your symptoms and take stress off your body is a good thing, right? If you can get, if your insurance covers all kinds of testing, blood testing, or genetic testing, or something, get that looked into. Get as much data as you can, But really, I think really also too, like just rest and pace. And so pacing is basically just you break up your day into something that's manageable. So you have to figure out establish what your energy levels or they call it your energy envelope is, and then you don't exceed it, right? So the way they explain it to me originally, it was like, imagine you have $20. They treat you like a 2-year-old. Imagine you have $20, right? And imagine that every day you're only going to spend $19 of it or something like that. You want that $1 left to just for what you want. You want to just have that in reserve, right? Now you're never going to be able to ever spend it. In reality, it's not like it carries over to the next day. It might, some of it might, but like in reality, it just dissipates into nothingness, right? But you don't ever want to go past the $20. You never want to be like now you're in an energy deficit, right? So you might as well just save the dollar. Okay, and so that's the way they explained it to me. At the end of every week, you should want some sort of not an energy surplus, but you just don't want to exceed the limits that you're capable of doing, right? And the other thing is get as much help as you can. Like get as much help as you possibly can, whether it's social services, whether it is, even though I dislike the state, whether getting state services from them, whether it's disability, whether it's some sort of health insurance, supplements or something like that. Or supplementation rather, and if you can pawn off responsibilities and duties to other people in the context of explaining your situation, which I have done. Uh, do it as much as you can, and I've had fortunate success with that. Right, I have family members who are very helpful, and I happen to live in a state that is very accommodating for this. I mean, it's still not that great, but it's more accommodating than other states would be. And it's taken a lot of stress off me. I don't have to worry about like, oh, I got to make a living, and I have to worry about, oh, how am I going to eat every single day, and I don't have to worry about the things that I worry about are kind of more or less like existential things at this point, which is like, like my life is kind of passing me by, and I'm sick. It's like that's not fun. But those are like things that like you kind of like. I mean, again, more advice. See a therapist about. You know, go to join a support group. I'm part of the Massachusetts ME Association, and they have support groups. And sometimes they have Bateman Horn Center has a support group, right? That is for anyone, right? So if your state doesn't have one, Bateman Horn Center in Utah has one, right? And it's available to anyone across the country. All right. So those are just some tips, and that's about it. That's all I really have because I'm trying to keep these short, and that's pretty much it. And so that way I don't like tire myself out as well. I'm trying to stick to my own advice, and that's pretty much it. And also just find something that you like enjoy doing still. That is also crucial. So like I kind of like yammering into a fucking camera, I guess, or whatever. And I also still like playing chess, and I still like writing poetry, and I still like reading occasionally. But some things you have to give up, and that's unfortunate. It sucks. I wish I had all the energy in the world, but I don't. And um, yeah, that's it. That's I'm not going to semi-retire yet from this vlog. I still am going to do this once a week. It doesn't take up a lot of time, and but so you can still expect these vlogs even though no one really watches them. But that's fine. I like doing them. So that's all that matters. So I'll see you next time.